Alright, hello guys, welcome to our first build tutorial for Fortnite. Today we're going to be building our first of the Anarchy Acres prefabs, also known as the barn, as you can see behind me. First, we're going to go over a little bit of a tutorial of how to build Fortnite builds in Minecraft. It's a very easy system that I've come up with. I also have the measurements up top in the air. I'll show you that in a bit so you know the measurements, so you know how to fit this build wherever you want to build it. We'll also look at some possible materials, and we'll be looking at the chest over here, and also a tutorial of how to build Fortnite builds. Let's get into it. Wrong button. Alright, so first what you're going to need for this build is simple. You're going to need red terracotta, polished diorite stairs, polished diorite slabs, chests for loot chests, of course, it's Fortnite, oak planks, spruce fence, spruce stairs, spruce slab, spruce planks, green shulker box for ammo boxes. I think they look the most like Fortnite ammo boxes. You can use something else if you want. You can use the lighter ones if you want, but I think these look the best for ammo boxes. Birch trapdoors, I'll show you what those are in a minute, and lanterns for lighting. If you don't know Fortnite, this was the Anarchy Acres barn. It's also at Fatal Fields as well. It's Chapter 1, Season 1 through 10 for Fatal Fields, and Anarchy Acres, Season 1 through Season 4. You can also play Fortnite OG right now, currently on Fortnite if you want to see it, but we're going to be building the barn you can find in both Anarchy Acres and Fatal Fields. But first, I'm going to go over some quality of life decisions. First of all, as you know, as you can see right here, it has a grid-like pattern. So when I build stuff that is for Fortnite, I think it's best to build it exactly how Fortnite was built. So in the Fortnite game, it's all segmented. All houses are segmented, all builds are segmented so you can destroy them with pickaxes and harvest materials. So in Minecraft, we're doing the same thing. So every single Fortnite build is segmented into blocks, similar to this right here. A 3x3 block, well technically a 5x5, but a 3x3 story. So every story is, you have the floor right here, and it's 3 blocks up from the floor to the ceiling. So the barn in Anarchy Acres is 3 stories tall with a 2-story frame. So basically, this is what you would want to build to start off with. And just for the measurements right here, this is the measurements you would need for the build. Obviously, you can take a picture yourself, or you can just count. But basically, you just want this big amount. This is the dimensions you want. Doing some quick math, 9, 12, 15, 17. So basically a 17 by 17 block would be best, but also remember there is a stick out right here that would make it so if you really wanted to make it just a block, it'd be a 21 by 17 block for the full thing if you don't want anything to be here with a stick out. So a 21 by 17 block plot would be good to make this barn structure. Alright, and the final thing we're going to do before we get started in actually filling out the materials and actually talking about how to make this look a little bit more like Fortnite, because it's just an outline of a barn right now. Talk about materials. So I'm using terracotta because that looks like the most, it looks like the most color, it kind of matches the color of the barn. Obviously it's like a wood that the barn is made out of. If you ever played Fortnite, if you try to harvest the barn's outer exterior, it's wood. So if you do want to make it more realistic, you can go with mangrove stripped wood, or mangrove planks, or just mangrove stripped logs if you do want to make it just wood. But I'm using terracotta. You can also use wool if you don't have enough wood to make this happen, or you can't find a mangrove forest, so you can't like use mangrove or terracotta. Wool is fine, and concrete, of course, is also fine. But I'm using terracotta because it looks like the most realistic color choice for the Fortnite barn. Alright, so we're going to get started. So first, what you're going to need to do is you're going to get your building materials, but first you're going to get the terracotta, and you're going to make this outline. So this outline is good to start off with, and you can, people say that you should use scaffolding. I think just using dirt is the best method. So if you're in survival and you have dirt in your inventory, obviously if you're in the desert, you can use sand, but you can just do this instead of scaffolding, and then you can just mine it with a shovel. And that'll work just as well as scaffolding would, if you don't have access to bamboo, of course. So what you're going to do is you're going to make a grid pattern. So the Fortnite barn is 2 stories around the entire 4x4 frame, 4x4 main frame. But it does have a 3-story, it has 2 3-story sections in the middle as you know, it does have a third layer up here. It does like have an attic section in the barn. So basically build a 4x4 block, and every single block is, of course, you put one pillar, count 3, another pillar, and then build the pillars up by 4, and then you just go across. And you're basically making this, except you're making, obviously the floor is already built because you're building on ground. So realistically it'd be like this, but there's already ground, so you don't really need to do this part right now. It's just saving you some time and resources. So just build 3 up, and then build a 4th, and then just go across, and you have one grid pattern. So like this, and then like this. And then you can do the same thing, up 3, and then 4 across, and there's your second story. Alright, so what I would say is for this tutorial we're going to be doing the grid pattern first. So what we're going to basically be doing is we're going to move into the interior now. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing the actual barn area. So if you note in the Fortnite barn there are wooden structures. The second floor is wood and not terracotta. It's just like a wooden scaffolding area, and it does have stairs. So the stairs go like this. It's a right-hand stair that goes like this. You go up this side, and it goes up here to the scaffolding. So what you want to do, the best way to do this, of course, let's get all our building materials. But basically what you want to do is you want to make sure that the staircase is high enough to use a shulker box. If you've ever used a shulker box, you know you can open it if there's nothing above it. But if something is above it, you can't open it. So you have to make the stairs high enough so that this isn't a problem. So the ammo box in this is located right here in the very corner. So what you're going to need to do is you're going to have to make something that's big enough to go above the ammo box. You can see it's only a half a slab above, but you can still open it. And that's how you can make a staircase that's a right angle. And of course you can just do this. There. So that is a right-hand stair that matches the scaffolding. Actually, you know what? I think this is better because that makes it so it's still a cube. Yeah, that makes it better. Let's do this. There. That makes it more easier. Less time and less materials. Just 2 stairs, 2 stairs, 3 slabs, and the scaffolding is still segmented, so it does work out. So there's your stair block and your ammo box. So now what we want to do is we want to fill out the rest of the scaffolding. The scaffolding goes across the entire width of the main part of the barn and goes out like this. So it's a 2x4 scaffolding of spruce scaffolding because I think this matches the color of the inside of the barn the best, is spruce. You can do oak if you want to, that's why I said oak is available, but I think spruce is the better idea. And just as a saying so, just to keep this video short, I'm going to do the grid pattern today, and then the next part is going to be filling it in, and then the next part is going to be the interior. So if you do have this scaffolding thing pretty much down, you don't have to watch, you can actually skip part 1 if you have the scaffolding down, but I wanted to show you how it works, and we are going to fill in the structures here. So in Fortnite, the scaffolding in the barn on the outer ways are archways. So what you want to do is get your spruce stairs and you want to make them arches, just because in the actual game they are arches instead of just straight scaffolding. So just fill in your scaffolding with stairs to make them arches, and it makes it look a little bit more nicer. Alright, so the next thing that we want to do, even though we are still doing scaffolding, we have to make a staircase because there's a staircase that goes from the second layer to the third layer. And since there is a third layer, you want to make the scaffolding for it. The scaffolding is the exact same. You just go upwards, remember, 3 blocks for a story, and then the 4th block for a row for the floor. Alright, and now, remember, same thing, the outer outer ones, the outer scaffolding is arched. So there you go. That's how you make the scaffolding look a little bit more nicer. All right, so now you want to have the stairs. The stairs go this way up to the top, right here, because there's a pathway up here, and there's also a pathway up here. And there's your scaffolding. So you want to make the staircase go up here. And it's going to be on the actual blocks. It's actually just a straight staircase that is only in this entire block right here. So you don't have to make any slabs, you don't have to do any crazy stuff to make it fancy. It just goes from this block. It's all contained in this one block leading up to this block. And then basically, if you want to just see what you're going to be doing, you can fill in these two blocks here, because that's what it's going to look like. All right, and then what you're going to do is basically this is going to be your scaffolding for Fortnite stairs, and this is basically what the interior of the barn looks like. Now, this you can get away with because now that you're done with your grid pattern for the most part, you can just fill in the rest of the pillars, and there is this small section that isn't scaffolding that you can just remove. So you don't need this part, you just need grid 1, 2, and then 2 in the middle, and then 4 going from this section all the way back to the back wall. Alright, so that is your grid section. So now how do you fill this out? Well, of course, we would fill it out with, normal spruce. And we did so right here. But now we're going to go to the oak wood, because Fortnite does not use uniform colors. Its wood is different in the middle than it is in the outsides. So what you want to do to actually make it look unique is you want to put the oak wood. And then you would get rid of these scaffoldings and actually fill it out with oak wood. Because the edges look like spruce, but then you want to actually fill it out with oak wood. But of course, when you're doing this, do not replace the stairs with oak stairs, because the staircase, while technically being on the oak wood, is still spruce because it's the scaffolding part of the barn. So yeah, you want to fill this out with oak wood, and it will look much nicer once we finish the barn. Note, you do not want to replace the scaffolding right here with oak wood. Do not do this. It does not look nice. Do this. It looks better. Alright, and then of course, the final thing you would need is from our building chest, you would need spruce fences to, make it look so people don't just fall off. And of course, in Fortnite, there are fences, so you're not doing anything, that's unique. If you want to make it look realistic, you got to put the fences up here, and then up here. And then up here, of course, same thing that we did on the second floor. We fill in the oak. Of course, you don't fill in the staircase, and you don't fill in this, but everything around it you do. But you make sure that the outline of the stairs is still spruce, because it just makes it look nicer, in my opinion. Alright. Alright, so there is your interior with the grid pattern. So this is a good start for the build. You basically just want to have an interior, and you want to make it, so you can actually see what's going to happen. You have a good way to get up to the third floor, you have your staircases in the second floor, and you have your ammo box under the staircase to make it a Fortnite, of course, a Fortnite build. So the final thing I'm going to do before we get into the actual exterior is we're going to be just putting the chest spawns, so we know where they are. So the chest spawns, of course, there's one right here, and then there's one in the third area in the back right here, because it's a 2 chest spawn barn. There used to be 3 chests, but they removed one when they started doing the OG stuff. There used to be a chest like right here, like where the tractor was, but they don't have it anymore. So 2 chests, and there's a couple more ammo boxes, but when we start filling in the area with props and hay, we'll talk about where the other ammo boxes will be. But yeah, that's going to do it for making the grid pattern for the barn. Remember, it's a 2-story barn with a 3-story middle, 2 center pieces, and of course there's also an extension over here, because remember there is a side door path over here, so do not forget that 1-story section as well. And that is how you make the scaffolding, ammo boxes, and chests. Alright, so for the next video, we're going to be actually filling in the barn area, and we're going to be working on the exterior and roofing sections. And then for the next video, we're going to be actually putting in the props and making it actually look like the barn from Fortnite. Alright, so that's going to be the end of part 1. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like if you like, dislike if you don't, subscribe if you feel like it. Comment down below your thoughts. Everyone have a blessed day as always. And of course, as always,